Hello again. Here we go. Part 2 of the tour. This time we'll have a bit more of a look at the backyard, which is where I'm standing. This is the door that we entered through last time, so that you can orient yourself. Alex and I did a hardcore day last weekend, just after I recorded that last vlog, and we cleared the backyard, and this is what it looks like now. Lovely clear backyard. All ready for like all sorts of landscape goodies. Come spring, it's going to be full of snow soon. It's already snowed a couple of times. Just while we're here, these weird like grassy plants, does anybody know what these are? It's like bamboo. This stuff is like really brittle and you can just like pull it out of the ground, and it's just gone absolutely bonkers. I quite like it, but it's really invasive. You can see where I've like chopped it off. Yeah, it's like bamboo but with like regular tree leaves. I don't know. Anyway, the backyard, pretty level, do some fun stuff. The goal is to make it like a nice private space and all leafy and comfy. This is now that we can actually stand in the backyard and get a decent view of the back of the house, I'll quickly go over this. This is the kind of stair enclosure. And the goal for that is to eventually clad it with polycarbonate so that it's actually got some transparency, because at the moment it's just a bit of a dark hole. Got a guy mowing the lawn just next door. Hope that's not too loud. Okay, so I was going to do this yesterday, but we were working until the sun went down, filling this dumpster, the biggest dumpster I've ever ordered, or I've seen bigger, but you know, this is the biggest one I've ever filled up. And this is full to the brim with all of the crap that was inside the house. So it was probably about, I don't know, 8 to 12 hours worth of labor in total, just filling rubbish bags, and then maybe that same amount again getting it all out and into this giant dumpster. Alex and her dad helped out. It was amazing, and here we are. So this is this side of the house. We saw the other side last time. Now we see this side. Dumpster. It's my van. And while we've got some daylight, I'm going to show you through the ground floor, and it's much less scary looking now. Okay, so this window here, they were boarded up with these, and I used those bits of plywood as like ramps between the window and the dumpster, so that anything that was too heavy to like throw across that gap, just threw it onto the ramp and it kind of rolled down. There's been some clever arranging in the dumpster. You're not allowed to have anything protruding above the rim, because they stretch a giant, apparently very expensive tarp over the top, so anything that might poke a hole in that tarp is, yeah, trouble. So I think we did a pretty good job. There's still crap left in the house, but nowhere near as much. Alright, so hang on, I better back it up, I'm rushing. So we come down the side, this is my van parked on the side. We've also got the washy brick problem here. You can actually see it to great effect. This is where water, I don't know how the water has been splashing on here. I think it might be bouncing off this tree and onto the, I don't know. But yeah, you can see how the water is just like eating these bricks away. So we've got to get onto those in the next year or so. Yeah, we're dealing with pretty long time scales here. This is the front door to the other side. So I showed you the front door on the other side from the inside. That was down those stairs and it was boarded up. This was boarded up too, just nailed shut. So I have pried the plywood off, trimmed it to size, and I'm going to screw it into place so it's a bit more secure. It also gives us a convenient entry location for today's installment, so please come along. So I'll just, this is the front vestibule. Pretty nice. And then this is like vestibule number 2 that we're standing in, so you kind of This is like the mud room, I guess. This is where you keep your boots, and you'd have a doorway here, and it's kind of an airlock, so you don't disturb the warm air too much inside the main house. It's pretty nice. I'm sort of, I like down here. When the boarding's up, it's just really dark and it's spooky as fuck, and it was nasty, man. Like the amount of rubbish that was in here and how dark it was really unpleasant. But now that I've taken the boarding off and gotten most of the rubbish out, it's actually starting to appeal to me a bit more, this ground floor unit. Still, if I do live down here, it'll only be temporary while I get upstairs ready to move into. The original goal was to get downstairs into a livable state, then I'd move in down here, and then I'd live in it while getting it into a rentable state, and then when it's in a rentable state, I'd get upstairs into a livable state, move upstairs, rent out downstairs, rinse and repeat, and then just take my time upstairs and do it really nicely. But I don't know, that's the plan right now. It's an okay plan. Plans change, we'll see. Alright, so we've come through and now we're in vestibule number 2, which is sort of more of the, I guess this is where you'd hang your coats maybe. So you'd take your boots off out there, hang your coats in here, just like little, get an idea of the size from the ceiling. It's got a doorway through to the really, right now, pretty shit living area. Looks like it's had some fires. It used to have a mirror wall. This wall here covered in mirrors. Really trendy at some point to just have like an entire wall of mirrors. I guess it would like trick people into thinking the room was bigger or something. Ceiling paint, which is like this. Yeah, like brittle, flaky lead. So there's a lot of lead paint in here, and I'm not gonna. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna put my mask on because I'm gonna do some sweeping and stuff. You just do not want to be breathing that dust. It's nasty. So this is the like lounge room. So this apartment's set out a little bit differently to the one upstairs. It's got to kind of make way for the stairs and things like that. Like on the other side of the mirror wall is the stairs to the upstairs apartment. So everything's kind of shifted to make room for things. So yeah, we come through here into there. So that's through that door of the vestibule number 2. Through this door of vestibule number 2, I guess, is the dining room, which is just really nice. Like the light in here is pretty good. Just get an idea. I'll just pan, and then I'll pan. Yeah, not bad. This door, you can see how much of a lean that is on. So this whole apartment down here is also sinking, which is a good thing. Everything's sinking consistently, which means that it's a singular point of slow failure, which is like in the basement, which is fixable. I've actually spoken to a few people now. Good buddy of mine, Brent, you know who you are. He had a great chat. He's actually done a similar thing recently to his house, fixing a sagging floor, and I'm growing a little bit more confident myself. There's cool technology out there. There's a lot of building products that are just like designed for that very thing. Everyone's done it. We're living in a country made of timber houses that many of them are over 100 years old, and they're all sinking, and it's not an uncommon problem. So people are working on it, and they've done it to, most success. I haven't heard too many horror stories actually. I was expecting to find some real scary stories, but mostly it's just like, oh yeah, just did that and fixed it, it's fine. So we'll give it a go. I think it'll be fun, and if it fails, fuck. I mean, how entertaining would that be? Australian collapses house in Detroit. Thought he knew better. Yeah. Anyway, this is so we come through. This is the dining room. I guess we'll just follow it logically through the living spaces, and then we'll go through. This is the kitchen. pretty much exactly the same size as the kitchen upstairs. So this is where things start to really mirror what happens upstairs. Very dark because these windows are still boarded up. They got ripped out. Those ones got ripped out. Back door into the weird stair space. It's just super dark. I'll need a flashlight. I don't want to show you in there. It's kind of similar vibe to what we saw before, except with no trash in it now. Emptied all the trash out. So exciting. So this is the kitchen. So this here is the chimney from the old furnace, which is long defunct, and it's been repurposed as a forced air duct. Forced air is nasty. It's like this kind of, it just dries the atmosphere out so much. So I've decided I'm not going to have forced air in this building. I'm going to put in combination of underfloor heating and radiators. It's going to be hydronic heating. So I'm going to get a tankless hot water system that can also heat enough water fast enough to send it through a massive network of pipes through the building to heat up the floors. And where I can't access the floors or where I don't need to heat the whole floor, I'll just have hot water radiators. And it's just a lovely kind of heat. It just disperses through the room like a lovely tea bag of hotness. So rather than like hot, dry air that like picks up dust in the ducts and blows it in your face and just dries everything out. Yeah, no, fuck that. Sorry for swearing, but I have strong feelings about it. Okay, so what do you rewind? Yep. So chimney for the old furnace. We're going, and Alex did this in her place too. Just going to chip off all the plaster and have it as a lovely, like, kind of expressed column of old rustic brick, which I think will add some lovely warmth and texture to this space. I'm going to keep things pretty simple with like little touches of, you know, natural materials here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty neutral, and I'll leave like artwork and furnishings and lamps and rugs and stuff to like do the talking. I'm gonna do, yeah, man, so many ideas. It's gonna be kind of, I want it to be sort of old school and stay true to the original kind of aesthetic, but you can see just by looking at these door trims, they're pretty simple. They're like not super ornate, but I want to keep this style of like door and window trims going. I don't want to like modernize things. We'll get it really nice. So we're in the kitchen. We're walking past our lovely brick chimney into the hallway, and this is the hallway that spans between the two bedrooms. We're only 2 bedrooms in this downstairs unit, but they seem bigger than the ones upstairs somehow. I'm not sure if they actually are, but we're in the one closest to the front now. So this one actually has, this is a weird room. It's got 2 entry doors. You can see them there. So there's one door here into the dining room, and one door here into the hallway. Hang on. You see that? So there's the 2 doors. Hallway, living room. So I might seal off this door to the living room. I don't like rooms as private as bedrooms having access to such public spaces as dining and living rooms, you know? It's unnecessary, and you lose like furnishable space or wall hanging space. So I'm probably gonna bugger this door off. It doesn't need to be there, and that'll make this room much more private and a little bit quieter when there's like stuff going on in the rest of the house. It'll just make it better. Okay, so one of my favourite features of this building when it was on Land Bank was this photograph, and I'm not editing these, otherwise I'd edit in the picture. Yeah, a lot of you have seen it. And it was this red chair sitting in this weird red corner, and it's like someone, I don't know, it's weird. I love it. So I've given everyone who's helping out instructions to like leave the red chair. The red chair has to stay until I get onto like working on this room, and even then, I don't know, I just want to photograph it really well or something, because it's come to, like, that little arrangement come to define this place for me in a small but, you know, significant way. This closet off this bedroom is enormous. It's huge. Can't really make out how far back it goes, it's quite dark, but it's probably about 12, 13 feet deep and pretty wide. I mean, you know, you could fit like a full row of... It's awesome. This bedroom's going to be sweet. I think the closet is so big because it just happens to coincide with the underside of the stairs over. So these are the stairs that go up to the upstairs apartment. So they were like, well, we've got this empty space and might as well use it. So, enormous closet. Pretty cool. So that's bedroom number 1. Here we've got a bathroom. Can't really make it out, it's just been completely stripped. That's a bunch of plaster on the floor. The lady who lived here previously, she had it completely refit with these lovely blue and white tiles. They're like a kind of really dark navy. And she had it all completely redone. And then, yeah, she bailed and scrappers took care of it. And then this is the last bedroom, which I don't really have any light. Kind of see the windows boarded up, and there's massive holes in the wall where the bathroom is. So that's where they like just took the wall apart to get the pipework. It's in the walls there. Okay, so that's the ground floor unit. Just a quick bit of revision. We walk in here, we walk in the front. There's the living room. We're standing in the middle of the dining room. There's the hall and the kitchen. Pretty simple, efficient layout, and once we're done, it's actually going to be a really nice living space. Plenty of room. Very cool. So